So I bought the new Montblanc Explorer Platinum. The original Montblanc Explorer is probably one of my favorites from the brand, so I really look forward to trying this one out. Let's do this. Some of the notes in Montblanc Explorer are violet leaf, clary sage and cedarwood. So I'm going to spray on paper, on my hand, and of course up in the air. Okay. This is definitely not what I was expecting when I read the notes. I just gotta spray some more. Okay, interesting. Yeah, right away a big dose of that clary sage. Yeah, I'm sniffing everything here, and it's definitely heavy on its aromatic side straight away. And I'm also getting a hint of spiciness in the background. Just a hint of something that is slightly spicy, and definitely something, I'm gonna say a hint of something that is slightly sweet. So it's not overly sweet, it's not even sort of a sweet. There's a slight hint of sweetness somewhere in the background. So yeah, straight away that clary sage, it's super aromatic in a quite nice way, with undertones of something that is slightly spicy and just a hint of something that is slightly sweet. Yeah, this is an aromatic bomb in the opening. So clary sage can come across slightly differently in different kinds of scents. This is definitely a clary sage that is herbaceous and slightly sweet and slightly spicy. And I mean, this to me is a nice opening. It's aromatic, it's clary sage, it's a slightly spicy and slightly sweet clary sage, it's herbaceous, and it has this sort of a classic aromatic brightness to it. I'm gonna say that while I do think a lot of people will find the opening to be a nice one, there will definitely be someone out there who just doesn't like this kind of scent. The opening of this feels like a mix of something that is sort of with old school vibes done in a slightly modern way. So do I like the opening? I think the opening is a nice one. I do feel most people will like this, but there will definitely be a few who does not enjoy the opening. The opening, while it is a nice one, I also feel that maybe it's not the most exciting opening. So while I do enjoy the opening, at the same time, I feel it lacks something to make it a bit more exciting. It does not blow me away. This is very much an aromatic opening that is quite simplistic. Simplistic done in a quite nice way, but not nice in a very exciting and mind-blowing way. So I'm going to let this thing dry down and share my thoughts on the dry down. So it's time for the dry down, let's try it. Okay. Still very much focused on that aromatic side of it. That clary sage is still very, very heavy, and I think it's the violet leaf peeking through in the background here. And I'm gonna say this about that part. So I have quite a few fragrances with violet leaf in them. I enjoy violet leaf in fragrances, but I do know a lot of people absolutely dislike violet leaf in fragrance. I think the violet leaf is growing stronger as this thing heads into the dry down. It's still, though, a more soft kind of violet leaf. But I do know that to some people this won't be something you enjoy. I think that part of this makes the blend, gives the blend a certain kind of richness. Still, that duo is not enough for me to feel that this is something that is exciting in any way to wear. And even though the opening did not blow me away, I feel the dry down still doesn't blow me away, at least so far in the dry down, but it feels a bit more interesting right now. Its woodiness is also peeking through and growing stronger almost by the minute in the dry down. I have a lot of fragrances with cedarwood in them. This doesn't have, this is not, at least to my nose, not of the sort of crisp cedarwood-ish kind of scent. This has sort of a softness to it. Almost, I'm not gonna say it's a powdery scent, but the cedarwood in here almost feels a bit maybe diffused or has a softness to it. So this is not a crisp and sort of a clean kind of cedarwood. I do enjoy it the more it heads into the further it heads into the dry down, because it feels like its woodiness is making the whole blend a bit more exciting. So at this point it's basically a soft, sort of a diffused woodiness with the clary sage on top. You have the violet leaf bringing the whole thing. It's sort of a characteristic kind of vibe. But like I mentioned, this feels a bit different if you compare to the violet leaf found in a lot of other fragrances. So to sum this up, this to me is very much dominated by its aromatic side. That clary sage is dominating the entire scent from the opening to the dry down. There's a dose of violet leaf in here. The violet leaf, however, is a bit different compared to a lot of other fragrances with the violet leaf in them. It feels slightly more soft in here. The violet leaf is growing stronger as this thing heads into the dry down. The opening has undertones of spiciness to it. It's also slightly sweet. It's not a sweet fragrance, but it has nuances of sweetness, which I think is quite nice. It's definitely herbaceous. As this thing heads into the full dry down, its woodiness becomes more prominent. But I do feel that this, in the dry down, is still very much an aromatic dominant kind of scent. Its woodiness is not of the sort of a clean and crisp kind of woodiness. This is a more soft and sort of a diffused kind of woodiness. So this is the first time I try this one out, so I have not tested its performance fully. But it doesn't feel like a weak fragrance. It's definitely not a beast mode kind of scent. It doesn't fill the entire room, but you will most likely get noticed with this one about an arm length away from someone. So based on my first impressions of this, the performance seems solid. I don't think it's a beast mode kind of scent, but this is definitely not a weak scent. So here are my initial thoughts on usage. So like occasions, seasons, versatility, stuff like that. This is not fresh as a fresh scent can be, as in a freshie. This is not aquatic fresh. This is not citrusy fresh. It has a certain kind of freshness from its aromatic side, which makes it quite versatile, but it's not a freshie. So don't expect this one to be super fresh, but it has a freshness to it. So I do feel that you can use this pretty much through any season to pretty much any occasion. This feels like a mix of something that is sort of a casual and something that is classy. So this thing right here, at least according to me, can be worn to pretty much any occasion. So use it to work, when you are going out with your friends. You can wear it when you are going on a date, but I would suggest you to wear something else. While there will definitely be someone out there who will feel that this is a sexy and attractive kind of scent, I think a lot of people will not. So maybe go for something else when you are going on a date, and save this when you are going to work, when you are going to the grocery store, stuff like that. So who is this fragrance for? I'm gonna say it straight away. Please do try this. Don't blind buy it, because while this is a scent I feel most guys will think, hey, this smells okay, I don't think everyone will say this smells fantastic, this rocks my world, this is the best thing I ever put my nose to. I don't think that. So please do try it before you buy it. But if you usually enjoy the scent of clary sage, if you usually absolutely love aromatic heavy fragrances, then this is definitely something you should check out. I do want to remind you that this has violet leaf in it. So that might or might not be your cup of tea. So if you enjoy that, then you will most likely enjoy this blend. If you don't, then you will most likely not enjoy it. You will also most likely need to enjoy woody fragrances, even though its woodiness, at least to my nose, is of the soft and sort of diffused kind. this is definitely, at least in the dry down, a bit woody. So pros and cons based on my first impressions. Pros, good performance. Pros, which is also a con, it's very much an aromatic heavy kind of scent. So if you enjoy that, you will enjoy this. If you don't enjoy that, you won't enjoy this. Another pro is its versatility. This is definitely a scent you can use throughout the year to most occasions. But that also leads me to the next con. This is not something a lot of people will find super attractive. So while this is super versatile, I would not use it when going on a date. In other words, while this is a scent you can use throughout the year to pretty much any occasion, I do feel it lacks a big dose of something attractive. So I don't think this is a good choice as a date night fragrance. So here are my final thoughts on Montblanc Explorer Platinum. This is a good scent. It's a quite versatile scent. I don't feel it's an exciting scent. So I do like this, but would I buy it again if I had known what it smelled like? Probably not. That doesn't mean it's a bad fragrance, because it's not. This to someone will most likely be something amazing. To me, it's good. To me, it's versatile. The performance is really nice, but it does not give me that exciting or super attractive kind of vibe that I love getting from some of my favorite fragrances. So again, this is not a bad scent, but it lacks something, at least according to me. And I much prefer the original Explorer over this. I would love to know how you feel about Montblanc Explorer Platinum. Is it a fragrance you feel is exciting? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Please do comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Please do drop a like on this video. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out the videos over there. Oh yes, and I'll see you in the next one.